Audit and assurance is what we'll be looking at from GJAMES Associate channel today, and the practice question will be on mergers of audit firms. And you know what? We are going to be answering it. Don't forget, we always say practice with past question, practice for retention, practice for question and answering timing, to be able to answer within timing, and we are going to demonstrate it today. The question on audit and assurance is about mergers and acquisitions of audit firms, especially the big four. This is the question on the screen, and this is a live tested question from ACCA practice question, which is applicable to any chartered accountancy body all over the world, and especially for ICAN also. So the question is this: the increase in the size of audit firms has been a source of concern for regulators and clients of the audit firm alike. Some audit firms feel that mergers between the largest firms of auditors are necessary in order to meet the global demand for their services. However, their clients are concerned that such mergers will create a monopolistic market for audit services, which will not be in their best interest. We have two questions. The first one says explain. The second one says discuss. And like I told us, when we are practicing for examination, part of examination technique is to know how to answer the question. Where we are to explain, don't just make a list. By the time we continue now, you will see the list of the answer. Don't just make a list. You need to expatiate on them, because the question is explain. When you are to discuss, go further in your explanation. Go deep in your explanation. If you can cite example, cite example. Don't forget, these questions, the two questions, should be answered within 29 minutes. And I discussed how to know your maximum time on per answer or per mark. We've discussed that you can check it up on how to pass any exam as the title of the video. So within 29 minutes, you must be able to answer these 15 mark questions. Explain the reasons why the largest audit firms might wish to merge their practices. The second part is discuss the potential problems created by mergers of the largest firms of auditor. So we are going to do justice to this right away. And if you are just joining us for the first time, we would love that you subscribe to GJAMES Associate channel and click notification button, click all, so that anytime we'll shoot a video, you'll be the first to be notified and know what we are doing or what's up. Comment as we continue if there are anything you need more clarification or you want to reach out to us on, please do. So we want to explain on the reasons the largest firms of chartered accountancy firm might wish to merge their practices. The first is that the desire to operate on a global scale and increase the market share. The more, the stronger, the better for us. So we may choose to merge because we want to reach out to more global markets. Don't forget, the questions should be answered within 29 minutes. So if I'm quickly moving on, know that we are trying to do what we push. Aha. The second one is that the wish to serve or for the services of multinational clients in demanding for our international presence. Multinationals usually engage multinational audit firms, basically the big four. The big four. Not that the others could not do it anyway, but because they are multinationals, they want to move with the multinational, the firms that have multinational presence. So because of this, we may want, as firms, we may want to merge now so that we can increase in our presence in global village now. Let's take for example an audit firm in UK, but a smaller audit firm, not among the big four now, wants to merge probably with one in India, in Ghana, in US. At the end of the day, by the time they merge, they have more presence than being in the UK alone. Do we understand that? So coming together now fortify us and expand us automatically. Third, audit firms may want to merge their practices because it increases the expertise that we have within the audit firm and professional experience. Don't forget, many organizations, many audit firms, many times we specialize in some core areas. Let's say banking institution audit, some we specialize in manufacturing audit, but when we come together as one now, we both have experience and expertise in banking and financial institutional and also the manufacturing. So it gives us more leverage. Another one that we can talk about is about our business expansion. So it helps us for the competitive nature of auditing and consultancy services. So the demand for our experience, for our services, now we can easily attend to them. So the competitive nature of auditing and consultancy services demands a large firm to serve clients globally. And now when we merge, we enjoy that. Another thing we can give to the examiner is that increasing fund available for investment. Now, when we are a local audit firm or smaller audit firm, we have little fund to do our IT work and the like. But now we can ride on the fund of the merged organization and digitalize our processes, and at the end of the day we will make money and be better for it. We can equally measure the need to compete with banks, and this one is a bit harsh but it's true, because the management consultancy aspects of our work, many times banks dive into it. Don't forget, even now the bank and the fintech too, they are colliding, and soon as we will see those industries merged as one. That is the truth. The fintech and the bank we merge as one. Our telecom will shrink and become more or less one, because bank is riding on telecom and telecom are saying that they are the provider of this, we too can do it. Okay, so it makes more fund available to us, and we can compete with bank. We can take back what belongs to us. We are the consultants, the bank are to provide the financial services, but when people go to the bank for those funding and the like, they ended up at the end of the day being satisfied by the bank, both in provision of the fund and those documentation and necessary consultation, which ordinarily should be the income stream of an accounting firm. So when we merge together, we can increase our presence and our market share, and our client take our clients back. Also, to resist liability claim. The bigger we are, our indemnity too, we can cover more, and we can beat down our risk. I want to believe that that's a bit on the logical side. So I move on. To reduce the ability of major clients to assert fee pressure and also provide financial independence. If we have, let's say, 5 clients as a smaller audit firm, but 95% of the income per annum to that audit firm comes from one client, and that's a very big risk. But by the time we merge, that risk is reduced because now we now have, let's say, 50, 100 clients, and the income is evenly distributed or more evenly distributed than before. So we are better for it. The risk of losing one client, which dictates the closure of an audit firm, is no longer there. So we will like to merge because of that too. We can equally measure the increase in the range of opportunities that we can attend to and skilled staff. Different skill from different audit background, audit firm background come together to become one, then we have it in-house. Last but not the least that we are mentioning is to take advantage of cost saving, which are achievable through merger. We can easily save costs because many of the departments becomes duplicated, and because we are now together, we can streamline our audits practice and the like, and we save costs. Even the quality of work will be better for it. The second aspect of the question, now we spent 11 minutes, right? And the answer should be within 24 minutes, 29 minutes. The next question is for us to discuss the potential problems created by our merger now. So what are the problems that could be created because we've merged? The first one that I'm going to mention is the reduction of choice or choices, as the case may be, to our clients. Because let's say we only have in the world A audit firm and B audit firm. If A audit firm merges with B audit firm and become AB audit firm, now there is no audit firm to go to than to patronize A and B audit firm. Do we understand? So it reduces the choice for our clients when we merge together and become one. Also, the possible conflict of interest now may arise from our merger. Let me explain this. Let's say A has an organization as their client, and B equally has an organization who happen to be the competitor of the firm, the client of A. Now AB has merged as an audit firm. So that's those two competitors now are within the same house, that is audit firm now. So the secrets, the trade secrets, which B audit firm initially knew about their clients who happen to be the competitor that A audit firm is auditing now, becomes accessible by the same house because they are in the same house. Now there is conflict of interest because now two major competitors are being audited by same organization. I hope we understand that. So is a potential problem that could be created by mergers of audit firm. Another thing that could be created, issues that could be created, is a reduction in auditors' independence. Auditors' independence could be hampered, particularly as a result of increasing provision of consultancy services. Even the last answer we gave can create independence issue, just as it can create conflict of interest. You are auditing me and you are auditing my competitor, and you say you are my friend. So you know my trade, the trade successes and the trade secrets, and you will go and audit my competitor too. What will happen? Even though you put yourself forward to be trustworthy, should I trust you as a client? That is the question. It's a question that borders on the independence of an auditor. So it's a potential problem that could be created. Also, the emergence of audit giants, which weakens the argument for limiting auditors' liability. Of course, by us merging together our auditors' liability by reason of coverage, by reason of market and large market share, automatically we have greater scope for auditors' liability. That's we are responsible to more people. So when we merge and become more gigantic in the industry, so also is our auditors' liability could be. Though we can ride on indemnity, professional indemnity and the like, and more skilled worker, but at the end of the day, the reality is that auditors' liability is arguable. We can talk about domination too as potential problem created. So domination of the profession by the giant firms, which is real, which is real. The big four as potentially in the realistic sense of it, the the giants in the market as their clients too. But that does not necessarily mean that they own all the market. Because the giant, let's say the Fortune 500 firms, how how many are they? Fortune 500 on the list. So apart from that, there are so many other organizations. Take for example, in Nigeria, we have, based on Smedan survey, that we have well over 41 million organizations in Nigeria. So how many of them are among the Fortune 500? So that is what I'm actually talking about. So even the smaller firms add or have their chances too. But nevertheless, the domination, especially when it comes to key organizations all over the world, the big four have them. So that is domination. And when we continue to merge together like that, domination also continues and increases. Also, we can talk about the increase in the influence of large firm on the standard setting processes. And that is the truth. When auditing standards rather, international audit standard, IASs and the like will be formulated or will be adjusted, who are the people they call? They call the Fortune 4, for, they call the Fortune 500, they call the Big Four, and maybe one representative of the SMP, small and medium practices. Maybe one person to represent them. And don't forget that this one person is representing the interests of over 41 million organizations as against, let's say, 500, Fortune 500 companies within that 41 million. I hope we understand. So it's a mismatch or misrepresentation of a sort, but and that is why it's a potential problem. Also, we can talk about redundancy that is caused by elimination of overlapping departments. Don't forget I mentioned cost saving for merger as the positive side. So the negative side is it makes some people redundant, and you know what happens? People get laid off. Scrutiny also of the mergers by outside agencies. You just want to know what has transpired when we merge and what's the effect on the society, especially the business world. Regulators definitely will want to know how the mergers and the like has gone and what is happening in the new firm, which is an exposure of the independence of the operations of another firm. We can talk about disputes too that may arise or that will arise among partners, especially in the management of the organization, because they are having different management styles from different background of the audit firms that are merging together, and as a result we can have some of our best and leaving the organization through resignation of dissatisfied and affected partners and loss of experience. Of course, loss of clients too, because some of the clients may decide to go with them. Loss of personal touch also, because when we merge, we have so many people in the house, and they are coming from different backgrounds. There will be a bit of conflicts among them before they get to understand one another. People that understand one another before, they are being seen as sectoral and having a clique now, and a lot on the personal touch will happen, which may affect even the delivery of the audit firm. So we see this, how these 15 marks question have been answered within 20, 21, 22 minutes thereabouts. So when we are asked to explain, don't just make a list, explain, expatiate a bit on your bullet points, and when we are to discuss, please, if possible, give cite one or two examples, but ultimately work within the time frame, because this is going to go a long way to ensure you cover all the and touch on all the questions. Don't forget that you will be penalized if at the end of the day there is a question you're supposed to attempt and you do not answer. You did not attempt, maybe due to time and the like. So make sure you answer all the question, or at least attempt all the question. If that, for better word, attempt all the question. And if you have to attempt all the question, that means you must not waste time on the one, let's even say seemingly you know, and you just want to give everything you know about it. Work within your time, work smarter, and follow exam technique. If you are to list, don't explain. If you are to explain, don't end up listing alone. If you are to discuss, make sure you explain and cite example. Gbenga Olatunji FCA has been speaking from GJAMES Associate Channel. We are going to discuss so many other topics. We'll be moving on. So we would love you subscribe, comment, share the video, and tell a friend to tell a friend. So many other topics we'll be moving on. We'll be discussing on the variance analysis. We'll be talking about standard costing, especially people that are offering performance management. Don't forget to join us. Don't forget to subscribe. From GJAMES Associate Channel, we have value to life. We have value to your businesses.